Disclaimer, my mum is probably gonna cry in this video. Sorry mum, better grab some tissues. I loved school, and as you can see from all of these awards, I was pretty good at it. I had an amazing experience going to a private school with incredible teachers. I remember my grade 1 teacher was winning awards for writing books and songs for early years learners. In grade 2, I remember learning about how to guess how long a minute is and playing a game, or growing a plant. In grade 3, I learned how to write my name in Korean. In grade 4, I had this amazing Greek teacher that fed us marshmallows. In grade 5, I learned about grain silo explosions and how to make a circuit. In grade 6, I learned about Narnia and fiction writing and started writing a book that I was so excited about. And in grade 7, I ended up winning Dux of primary school. I had amazing access to extracurricular opportunities. I did art lessons, speech and drama lessons, tennis lessons, piano lessons, flute lessons. I had everything going for me. In high school, I continued going with lots of awards and getting straight A's, except for that one time that we won't talk about. I even helped run an enrichment camp, which we called Nerd Camp. I was on leadership councils and helping international students who were coming and visiting our school and going to international symposiums to talk about events in current affairs. I ended up finishing high school with an OP2, which is the second highest mark possible in Queensland. Yes, I was annoyed that I didn't get an OP1. I was all about achievement, about doing my best and better than everybody else. But I just loved it. I enjoyed being in the musical and continuing to have extra opportunities like being on the soccer team and winning the most valuable player on the grade 9 softball team when I was in grade 8. It was an amazing experience. I loved school. After finishing school, I got into the course that I wanted at one of Queensland's top universities. I got into a course of law and international relations. But first, I decided to do a gap year in Japan. When I finally got to Japan, everything was so exciting. The food was exciting, the people were exciting, the language was exciting, even school was exciting for a few weeks. And then I remembered that sitting in a desk all day, being quiet and listening to a teacher drone on and on and on can actually be a little bit boring. And I didn't understand any of it. I didn't really speak Japanese when I went to Japan. I just thought, hey, this will be fun. Let's go live with a Japanese family that doesn't speak English and go to a school where nobody speaks English except the English teacher. And fortunately, a couple of grade 12s that were able to befriend me, but most of the time, I didn't talk to very many people. I did a lot of listening, and I did learn a lot of Japanese while I was there, but mostly I was just sitting in class being like, what was I thinking? Going back to school. I mean, I loved school, but I counted down the days to graduation like everybody else. Through that time, I spent 4 months doodling in my notebook, staring out the window, and waiting for the bell to ring. Class was really hard, and assessments were pretty much unbearable. I had daily tests that everybody was always really stressed about, and nobody expected me to pass because, well, I didn't really seem to understand anything. So they just let me get away with skipping homework club and cram school and weekend school. So I spent a lot of time by myself. I didn't have that amazing of a home situation either. I mean, I still didn't understand how to communicate very well, and they weren't necessarily very sensitive to how much I was struggling with the culture shock and the school shock. my room journaling about how isolated and sad and depressed that I felt. And then school holidays happened. 2 months of freedom. I actually got to experience this amazing place that I was in. I got to go on outings with the kindergartens that lived next door because, well, all of the people my age were studying. So I hung out with the neighborhood kids, and I visited friends in other cities. I went swimming in the river. I had an amazing time. I felt alive. And then holidays finished. And I just melted down. I didn't think I could cope with the idea of going back and wasting my time sitting in a classroom where I didn't understand anything that was going on. I tried to find ways that I could stay in Japan because the experiences around me were so exciting. I just wanted to be outside. I just wanted to travel and explore and get a feel for the place that I was in, but I was stuck inside of 4 walls listening to a teacher explain things that I didn't get. I eventually rang my parents and cried and said, please, is it okay if I just come home? I'd been there for 6 months. I was supposed to be there for 10 months, and I had just had enough. There were a couple of other factors that played a role. I don't like seafood. It's Japan. But pretty much it was the idea of going back to school that really made me need to get out of there. I needed to escape. When I let the school know that I was planning to leave, I got called into the principal's office. The principal sat me down and basically said, you have shamed your family. You have shamed your host family. You have shamed this school. You have let us down. You are letting yourself down. How could you do this? You're letting everybody down. And I just felt all the shame that had already been on me because I was already failing everything. I didn't feel like I could communicate properly with the people who were supposed to be my friends, the people in my classes. I didn't feel like I was being fair on my host family because I just was sad all the time. And I just left that meeting being like, I am so glad I'm getting out of here. I experienced 2 worlds in my education. I experienced the world of winning awards, of winning A's, of getting the dreams of extracurricular activities, doing the things that I loved, and going on outings on the weekends with my grandparents to science museums just because learning is fun. And then I experienced what a lot of school children today experience, which is feeling trapped in 4 walls, listening to a teacher and having no say about what you're being taught, and having having 12 years of this. I had 6 months and I couldn't handle the idea of staying 4 more months, and some kids put up with this for years. I've just become so passionate about helping those kids that are struggling with the education system to realize that actually there is some way that they can learn and enjoy it. I've become passionate about helping children in Australia and in Japan and around the world finally celebrate learning.